What is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Just kind of a random video here that I'm putting together. Why am I putting it together? I don't know. I just want to talk some Lakers basketball. All right. It's been a while since I talked Lakers basketball. Probably not. I'm talking about them 44 times a day. But I got a couple of topics that I want to get into. I want to give some reaction to that James Harden trade to the Los Angeles Clippers. How does that trade have much of an impact, you think, on the Lakers or on the Western Conference? And I also want to talk about Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves has got off to a really slow start, so let's try to figure out what's going on in that department. And those are the two main topics I'm gonna get into. So not one of those crazy long videos or anything like that. Just a couple things on my mind that I felt like you guys might want to give your opinion on as well, and would like the content. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys don't mind. Would appreciate that. Thank you to Underdog Fantasy for being a partner of the channel here. I've promoted them these last couple of games, really since the start of the regular season. Get up to a $500 deposit match. All you got to do is go to the website or just use my code HoopsLA on their website, and you get that deposit match of up to $500. So I appreciate their partnership. Okay, let's get right into it here. Spent a little time talking about this in the morning on my morning radio show, and I thought it was a really good conversation. I thought the topic of Austin Reeves struggles. Okay, well, why is Austin Reeves having any struggles? Okay, we'll get into that. Is it of any concern? Okay, we'll get into that. How long does Austin Reeves have to play bad basketball for you to say, wait a minute, something's wrong here? So I think there's kind of a few layers of this to Austin Reeves. And the one thing that I think to me is that really, really surprising is when he's on the floor, what's happening. So we're going to get into all that. I think, I propose a question here. Any concern with Austin Reeves? So it's only 4 games into the regular season. But I got to be completely, completely honest on this one. I really, really did not think that Austin Reeves was going to get off to this type of start. So if you said, go throw all these different, the Lakers season is going to start, here's 10 different things that can happen in the start of the season. One of the ones that would be on the top of my list that I did not think was going to happen was Reeves really, really struggling to start off the year. I'm not overly concerned about it, but I'm paying attention to it, right? I'm definitely walking into games now saying, I wonder how Reeves is going to do tonight. Or I hope Reeves has one of those nights so we could stop talking about this so we can walk away and say, you know what, Austin Reeves tonight had one of those. He had 18 points. He had 9 rebounds. He got to the free throw line 6 or 7 times. He shot efficiently. He got a couple of steals. Man, the guy was exactly like Austin Reeves is supposed to be. And we just let's keep it moving type of a thing. That hasn't been the case so far in these first 4 games. And I think to me, the thing that has stood out the absolute most with Austin Reeves is his effectiveness on the floor when he is playing. Reeves is one of those guys that I think every Laker fan would agree with this. You feel comfortable when he's on the floor. You're basically saying to yourself, okay, Austin Reeves is out there. Cool. I don't got to worry about him. I know that he's going to play defense. I know that he's going to take smart shots. I know he's going to facilitate when he has the opportunity. I know he's going to try to get to the free throw line. Reeves makes winning plays. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. He reached a point last year where it was like, man, this Austin Reeves story is a really cool story. And then it kind of reached another layer. It went from that to, hey, should we have Austin Reeves? We probably should have him in these games more. He should be playing a lot more minutes. Okay, then it went to another level. And the next level after that was, let's just start Austin Reeves. There's no reason why he shouldn't be starting. And then eventually he's playing 35 minutes a night. He's starting. He's closing out games. He's doing everything for the Lakers. He was such an incredibly important piece. So I think that's how it morphed for Austin Reeves. He became this player that we had a lot of confidence, but he was also delivering for the Lakers on a night in, night out basis. This year, I feel like he's not confident. I feel like he's second guessing himself. That aggressiveness that we've seen, that fearless mentality that we've seen from Austin Reaves, at least in these first 4 games, have not been there. I want to, let me see if I should just share this. Yeah, I'm going to share this with you guys. Let's do a little share screen action here. Somebody mentioned it in the chat yesterday when I was doing the post game show. And I was like, all right, well, let me take a look at this myself as well. So here's Austin Reaves. Just this is on StatMuse, what he's averaging so far for the Lakers. So 10 points, almost 4 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game. But let's get a little bit further into it. Okay. I want you to look here of each game what Austin Reaves has done. Okay, he's got a 5 for 12 he had yesterday. Struggled from the 3-point line. He's got a 1 for 12, struggled from the 3-point line. He's got a 4 for 7, which is probably his best game, but he didn't even really play crazy minutes, only played 28 minutes. How about this game against Sacramento? Didn't play in the fourth quarter, didn't play in overtime. And then the first game against the Denver Nuggets, 4 for 11, was not efficient enough. But did have 8 rebounds and 4 assists, so I'll give him credit from that department. The thing that stands out to me the most here, look at his plus minus. In every game he's played for the Lakers so far, he has not been a plus. He was a minus 14 against Denver, a minus 11 against the Suns, a minus 12 against the Sacramento Kings, and a minus 14 yesterday against Orlando. I know plus minus doesn't tell everything. I think it's not fair to just assume that, oh my gosh, this thing is going to tell every story that exists. But I think it has a story. I think it says something. And I don't usually at all ever attribute Austin Reaves to, hey, when he's in, the Lakers are a negative, that they're actually better off when he's not on the floor. And again, plus minus doesn't tell everything, but I don't ever remember a stretch for Austin Reaves. And maybe I'm wrong here and I'm just isolating these 4 games where there's not much of a plus factor from Austin Reaves. So that's the part that is surprising. That's the part I told you, the effectiveness. Okay, even if he doesn't have it going offensively, look at these last 3 games. 3 rebounds, 2 rebounds, 2 rebounds. Look at his assists, 3, 2, and 1. Look at his steals, just 1 here. That Austin Reaves is a type of player, and also he's not having the ball enough to have 3 turnovers in these games here. Austin Reaves is a good enough basketball player where I think he could be effective when he's playing for the Lake Show. Again, I'm not overly concerned. If you told me 3 weeks, today is the 1 week the Lakers started the season a week ago. So they played 4 games over that 1 week. If we're sitting here in 3 weeks and we're a month into the season and those numbers are still there, okay, then I'm concerned. Then I'm saying to myself, okay, is Austin Reaves tired? Is there too much pressure on Austin Reaves because he just got that contract? I don't know what it is, but we're definitely way too early in the season right now to be overly concerned. But I'm not going to lie, I'm definitely paying attention. I'm looking at, because I think it's just such a surprise to me. I was not expecting it, and the fact that it happened is to me what's been the biggest surprise so far. So I'll go back to it. Lakers and Austin Reaves. I think things are going to turn around, but so far to start out the season, it has not been a pretty start for Austin Reaves. No question about that. So your thoughts, your comments, any concern? What have you noticed? Are you noticing the same things that I'm noticing? And I think that plus minus tells a little bit of a story, and that's kind of between, at least for me, that one was a glaring one that I definitely wasn't expecting. Okay, so last night I'm doing the post game show, right? And I get done with the post game show, and it probably wasn't, what was it? Maybe 15, 20 minutes after that, the trade goes down. The Clippers acquire James Harden. And I got some thoughts on this, and I gave some of those thoughts a little bit earlier on radio, but you guys know that I love doing stuff exclusively here on YouTube for my YouTube people. So let's get a little bit into this too. I think it's an interesting trade to talk about, and really the only perspective that I want to get into is how it affects the Lakers, and if we think this is a seismic change that could affect the Western Conference, or this doesn't really mean anything at all. So we could do that right here. So I think the details, everybody knows the details by now. I'll share the screen anyways. Details, Clippers are getting James Harden. They're also getting PJ Tucker and Philippe Petrusev. The Clippers are getting Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, and a 2028 unprotected first-round pick. Couple second-round picks as well. Then the swaps, the first rounds. Okay, you could read the rest of it right there. Look, James Harden is definitely not the player that he used to be. So I'm not going to sit here and try to make an argument that watch out for James Harden. Plus, you can't trust the guy. The guy has been in so many stops over the last couple of years. I feel like when the going gets tough, James Harden says, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I appreciate your time. I'm going to go ahead and go try a different destination. So he's not somebody that has certainly been reliable. He went from Houston to Brooklyn to Philly, now the Clippers in a short span. Is he talented? Of course he is. I just don't know what you're going to get from James Harden. Is James Harden going to be as committed as he's ever been in his life for this opportunity with the Los Angeles Clippers? I ain't betting any money on that. Is he a player that can average 10 to 12 assists a night with the Clippers? Of course he can. Can he help Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and set up some of these guys and make their lives easier? Of course he can. He's just a wild card. I have no idea what he's going to deliver on a night in, night out basis. None. I literally have absolutely no idea what James Harden is going to be on a night in, night out basis. How committed he is to the game of basketball and to the Los Angeles Clippers and everything else. So, I threw the question here is how much does Harden trade change much for the Lakers in the Western Conference? To answer my own question, I don't think there's a way of knowing, because it's not just what's your skill set and how good are you and what do you bring to the table. It's more than that. Let me use a matchup between the Lakers and the Clippers as an example. Clippers on paper have been very good. Clippers we'll talk about it in just a second, how much they've dominated the Lakers. But paper doesn't win. And I feel like for the Clippers, they've had some really good teams on paper. I know they've had a ton of injuries as well, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and some of these guys have been out at the wrong time. But they also had a series where they were up 3-1 and ended up losing that series against Denver back in the Orlando bubble. So I just have no idea what Harden's going to bring to the table and how much. I know what he's going to bring to the table. I just don't know how much you can trust him. Now, with all that being said, I get the Clippers trying it. I get the Clippers taking the chance. I get the Clippers rolling the dice. I get that. I don't think I disagree with what the Clippers are doing. They didn't have to give up Terrence Mann, and really they just gave up some 34-year-old role players and some picks. Now, don't get me wrong. I know they basically have no picks left, and this franchise could easily be remembered if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard don't get them to the NBA Finals and win them a championship. They're going to be remembered more for the team that traded away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander than they will of any success. So I get the risk. I get that you can't trust James Harden, but I also get why the Clippers are saying, you know what, let's freaking try it anyways and go from there. Now, ultimately, I don't think this shakes up the Western Conference just yet, and I don't think it shakes it up for the Lakers as well. I know the Clippers moved up in some of their odds, but the Lakers were a top 5 team in the NBA, and I think they were top 3 in the Western Conference. If somebody wants to make an argument, no, now they're top 4 or they're top 5 in the West, you're making that argument less to do with the Clippers. You're making that argument more with how the Lakers have started this season. They have not been impressive at 2-2. They have not looked good. While you got other teams in the Western Conference, the Denver Nuggets look fantastic. The Golden State Warriors actually have looked really good, and they just got Draymond Green back recently, so they're off to a good start. Who else has looked good? Dallas has started off 3-0. I don't really trust them. Oklahoma City is just super young, but I think they're 3-1. So you got some other teams in the Western Conference that I think are going to, obviously be in the mix. But I don't think this shakes up the West, and I don't think it shakes up what the Lakers are doing. I think for the Lakers, they just got to worry about their own development, their own role players delivering. They got to worry about that, and I think that's the bigger concern for the Lakers. Now, the other concern is you go into tomorrow's game. Clippers have won 11 games in a row against the Lakers. 11. Um, the good thing is that I think for tomorrow, I'm just assuming that a lot of these guys are not going to be available to play. I don't even think the trade is official yet. So there's a good chance that the Clippers won't have Covington and they won't have Nicholas Batum and Marcus Morris Sr. And obviously James Harden won't be playing yet. So can we get that streak to end? Can that 11 in a row streak, Clippers over the Lakers, can that end? It should end tomorrow. And I hope I'm sitting here and we're doing the post game show tomorrow and we're talking about how, okay, well, that's behind the Los Angeles Lakers. They don't got to worry about that anymore. They got that win against the Clippers. And of the 5 games, that was the best game that the Lakers have played so far. That's the hope. I don't know if it's going to happen. But certainly I think every Laker fan would like that. And you just want to see a Lakers play a solid 48 minutes. I don't think we're asking for too much from that perspective. Okay, Lake fans. So those are the 2 things I want to get into. Austin Reaves, any concern with what he's doing, and then some reaction to that trade of James Harden and his impact to the Western Conference and what that looks like against the Lakers. Lakers Clippers tomorrow. Appreciate you guys hanging out on the channel. Appreciate you guys always coming in and consuming some of this Lakers content. It means a lot. So I appreciate you guys doing it. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch up with you guys then. Thanks, Laker fans. Have a good Halloween.